So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's going out.
Hello, welcome to the club. And tip of the hat. I'm your host, Mars.
I went to it.
Did that break it?
Yeah. It's fine.
This is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we discuss, the first week in a while, guys, where the Crew have scored 3 goals. Something to celebrate. I haven't watched the game. Don't spoil it for me. Yeah, we're going to talk about actually, there were 2 games against Nashville and Miami.
I pet that dog.
And
Tip that hat.
Tip that dog.
I'm going to tip that dog. I'll pet that hat.
This feels right.
You picture me cow tipping, but it's a dog that's wide awake. It's like, dude.
It's wide awake in a paisley suit.
I thought you were actually going to
dog
tip
is a
it,
gentleman.
like money or a bone.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's just get into it here, guys. We're gonna do all the normal stuff. There's so much, so many thoughts, so many players, so much internet, and so many miles. We're going to get. I've forgotten in weeks past to refer to our branded segment, the predict picks. I forgot it was our predict picks for the week.
Yeah. I like that.
I don't know that there were many good predicts to see in the last week.
And you got a printer for the predict picks.
I have a brand new printer.
That's a little inside baseball.
Good win, lose or draw. We can blow them up. Biggest, best predict picks. With me in the club are Ben Mort, Train Haas. Say hey guys.
Tip of the hat.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
So it was actually a 2-game week. I think, was this our first Wednesday game? Maybe second.
It's probably our worst Wednesday game.
Yeah, so that was the game at home. This was the game at home. Let's talk about the home game. Who went to the Nashville game?
We all did.
We all did. Todos.
Except for you.
Except for me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm kidding. I watched it. And why? Why did you all go? Oh, Mort, you had VIP kind of. You had your whole professional team with you. That's right. I remember from last week. You were telling us.
So the funny thing was, I was took him out for dinner before the game, and I said, let's go to NADA because it's right there and it's easy walking in, and we could just park at McConnell and. Is McConnell? Yeah. And walk in after the game.
Name drop.
No big deal. You park there. You park that dog.
Then it was funny because Haas and I were going to exchange some things that we still haven't exchanged from the Cleveland game.
Kisses.
Like he has a cooler and I have one of his Miami / Crew soccer balls. Oh, yeah. And then he said, well, that's funny because Ben and all of his neighbors are also going to NADA. So apparently that was my first time at NADA.
And your last.
And my last.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're now closing. But it was
Second
nice.
to last night of
I got to
service.
see Ben and some other people there, his wife.
I
And
was so pumped when I turned the corner.
Tanner. And
I was like,
yeah, it was nice.
it's you!
So that was
How many more nights are you guys going to be around?
Nada. That's a good joke. No, I get it. No, that's fine. No crickets. I'm going to write down no crickets.
Okay, thanks. Good.
I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, and then Trey, you brought the family out, right?
I did, and I also had Mexican from Chipotle.
What'd you eat?
Similar to Nada. And I hung out at at Justin's truck. It's very similar atmosphere to Nada as a fancy restaurant. But
yeah,
better
alcohol.
Did you
probably.
Truck in a parking lot, smoking a cigar.
But you went into the game, right?
I did.
You didn't just hang there and then drink with a random stranger.
Did anybody pull up wearing the same thing as you?
When I showed up, he was talking to people that he knew, but I met, and they were random strangers to me.
Did he say this guy has a podcast? Because like we never talk about it.
I was not
He
wearing
loves
an Upper
talking.
90 podcast shirt, so no, that did not come up as I walked up immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm pretty sure the kids scared anybody else off because they were being feral. So
Well, were you able to watch any of the game, or did you have to like avail yourself of the sensory?
my better half would not put up with going into the game late. So yes, we were in the game by the time
Good for-
kickoff.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
oh yeah.
Okay. All right. And so it was a Wednesday game.
8 p.m. start.
8 p.m. Yeah.
Which helped.
I heard it was pretty well attended, right? It's like
Yeah, it was a good
almost
crowd.
a sellout.
Close to sold out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better
Okay.
Wednesday attendance than I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, so we'll kind of breeze through that one. A lot of goals this week to to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
We had, like I said, we scored 3 this week. Unfortunately, we allowed 7. So let's get into it here. Trey, why don't you just jump into the Nashville game? We'll go through that, and then we'll do Miami right after.
Facts that could save your life.
Wednesday, May 28th, in the friendly confines of Lower.com Field, the Crew faced off against Nashville FC in front of a reported 20,022 faithful Crew fans. The weather was a brisk 55 degrees at kick and made for a beautiful evening to watch a game at Lower.com. The Crew offensively were back to their old ways as they led in many categories, including possession, with the 67 to 33% advantage. Total shots 21 to 14, 9 shots off target. Total passes, passing percentage, touches in the other's box.
No square.
Unfortunately, Nashville proved to be just as effective in the offensive end of the field, and the battle for XG was won by the Nashville FCians with a 2.77 to 2.26 advantage. Although this one felt much different. It didn't feel nearly as bad in the stadium. Like, I thought it was a 50-50 game while we were there. But, Haas, hit us with those lineups.
SCNs.
Nashville villains.
The Crew started with Aliyu up top, Gazdag and Rossi behind him, Arfston, Nagby, Shambo, and Herrera across the middle, Amundsen, Chaberco, Morera in the back, and Hagen in goal.
So Schulte
Still
was
hurt.
injured.
Yep.
Was that in
Oblique injury. That's your
that
side,
was
right?
Before
Side
the
butt?
Charlotte
Pre-match
game
Charlotte.
started,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
And Morera's back, but he left
Zawadzki's
injured,
hurt.
and Zawadzki's out 2 to
From-
6 weeks
From
from
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yay, Charlotte. Gifts they keep giving.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, this one came quickly. Haas, tell us about it.
Second minute goal for Surridge. Nashville bring the ball down the right side of the field and eventually to the end line. Ball's dropped back to Yazbek and he crosses it into the box. The ball deflects off of Amundsen's leg just outside of the 6 and it continues across the face of goal to find Surridge, who's found space between Morera and Herrera. He's able to tap it in. 0-1 Nashville. Woof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good thing I brought all my people that I'm trying to get into soccer, and then they score in the first 2 minutes. Yay!
All right. So
Right.
there was,
very early.
43 more minutes, but we're not going to go through too much of it since we have 2 games. So we go into halftime with the Crew down 0-1. Coming out of half, the Crew with 1 sub as Aliyu comes off for AZ. 54th minute, Nashville's Perez earns the yellow card.
Well,
Go
any
ahead.
thoughts on that? On that sub?
Didn't. I would have liked to see Aliyu continue more, but AZ actually came on and played decent.
Yep.
I thought
He brought a little
played
spark.
Yeah.
He brought energy.
Yeah. So I didn't want to see it, but after seeing AZ play pretty decent, it was fine.
Okay.
So 54th minute, Nashville's Perez earns the yellow card for the cruelty to animals as he takes out Gas Dog in the center of the field. 66
Basically, Michael
minutes.
Vick.
66 minute.
What, too soon? Come on.
Sarah McLachlan.
Shout out Sarah McLachlan.
Sorry. All right, 66 minute. Nagby earns the yellow card for Columbus for trying his best to hold Nashville's tiny Norwegian boy's hand, which I still don't know how this is a yellow card.
Nope.
It's a foul.
It's a foul. He grabbed his hand from behind. That's it. So, 69th minute.
Nice.
Pause.
Goal for Rossi. Hagen plays the ball to Chaberko just outside the center circle. He passes forward to Arfston on the left side, who passes to the sideline to Chambeau, who dribbles forward and passes to Rossi. He gives it right back to Chambeau, who then passes centrally to Moreira, who's found space. He gets one touch on the ball, shoots from distance, forcing a diving save from Willis, but he can't hold on to it, and Rossi is the first one onto it. He pokes it in, 1-1.
This is the goal. This is the goal. This is what we are used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's, man, this is what we have been waiting for. The Moreira kind of coming out of nowhere. That's not predictable or likely regular to have him up that far. He's been up there recently, but like not for long stretches. Great to see him take the shot. That could have gone in.
It was such a good shot.
The fact that it didn't was fine because Rossi was there to mop it up. You know, this game was not one where we were going to score on first shots, right? Like we had a hard time getting through, nothing in the middle, but when they scored that goal, it made me more frustrated with how weak we've been otherwise. That's my piece on this goal. It was so good to see them score in that way. I hope that they can find a way to do it more. Try involving the offense instead of having to rely on your defense to take your shots.
All right. 1 minute later in the 70th, Crew with the double sub as our good boy Lassie comes in for Herrera and Russell Rowe in for Nagby.
I sub that dog.
Yeah, dog.
Get it. 78th minute. Pause.
Goal for Mukhtar. In the defensive half, Surge pokes the ball away from Chaberko, and it goes out of bounds. For some reason, the refs say that the ball is Nashville's throw-in. They take it quickly and find Schaffelberg in the box with Chambeau behind him. Schaffelberg shoots from close distance. Hagen makes the save, but the ball falls perfectly to Mukhtar in the 6. Pokes it in. 1-2 Nashville.
Wrong call, but you keep playing, right?
I don't know if it was the wrong call. We watched it multiple times.
Trey and I went deep on this one.
So it happens right in front of our seats, and where Jesse was saying there was 100% the wrong call.
But no one
fought the call. Like
no.
How can you argue it when the ball's played in immediately?
Grab the ball yourself.
Yeah,
you argue it. Yeah, you stop
or running.
Not one Crew player went to the ball to pick it up.
Yeah.
No one took a step towards it. Everybody stepped back and just put their hands up, and then the ball's thrown in.
Yeah, completely against the run of play because the last 20 minutes, I was like, we're going to score 1,000 goals. Yep. And then they just shut us up, and it's like, I'm going to freak out.
And that's it's a theme we're going to see here.
Yeah.
Our entire team getting caught off guard.
So 3 minutes later in the 81st, Hawes.
Own goal, Palacios. Russell Rowe recovers the ball after AZ almost gives it away in the offensive half. He passes to the left to Amundsen, who passes forward to Arfston just outside the box. He passes back to Gazdag, who then passes to Amundsen. He crosses the ball in towards the 6 as Gazdag and Russell Rowe both slide to get a touch on it, but in the end, it deflects off of Palacios and in off of the post. 2-2.
So I'm pretty sure Gasdog touched it. I thought Russell Rowe did, but upon rewatch, he doesn't touch it. So it would have been Gazdog's first goal, but then they called it an own goal because it was an own goal, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah. All right, 87th minute, Hani Mukhtar with the unprofessional studs-up tackle into the ankles of Ruvalcaba right on the sideline in front of the entire Crew bench.
Should have been his third
second
yellow card in that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous what he got away with in that game.
So 90 plus 3, Shambos earns the yellow for the two-handed from behind tug to prevent the breakaway by Najjar.
Good foul.
It's a good professional foul.
Oh, yeah.
But 1 minute later. Might be one of my favorite yellow cards as Mule is flagged for being offside, and in frustration, he kicks the ball away, kind of randomly, in the direction of the center referee. The ball hits the referee in the shins, and the ref immediately goes to the pocket and shows him the yellow card, then proceeds to come closer and closer, then holds up play as he stares Mule in the eyes.
For like a minute.
He circles his finger around, motioning something about the Earth's rotation. Mule's pleading his case the entire time. There was no reason. All he had to do was go, "What are you doing? You hit me with the ball. Here's the yellow. Play on." Instead, like he's just like, "You see my pink shirt? You see my pink shirt? You can't miss my pink shirt."
He held up the game for about 40 seconds, I feel like.
And
It was
he
over a
blew
minute.
the whistle exactly on the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
The ref was terrible.
Was it Boykos?
no, it wasn't. No, it was. I forget what the guy's name is.
Who cares?
Not Boygos, that's for sure.
Yeah, idiots.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this game ends at 2-2, and Columbus moved on to face Miami on Saturday.
This game sums up our season.
Just wait.
All right, Morton Downer. Here we go.
Morton Downey Jr.
All right. Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Crew faced off against the Inter Miami's Messies. The weather was a typical Florida evening as the temperatures hovered around the low 80s. A reported 20,861 fans packed Chase Stadium, and they were treated to a stunning performance by the home team. The men in pink were dominant all over the field and stifled the Crew all evening. The only meaningful stats Columbus led in were corners earned 6-4 and shots off target and shots
bombs.
outside the box.
No.
So, Oz, hit us with those lineups.
The Crew started with Aliyu up top, Gazdog and Rossi behind him, Arfston, Nagby, Shambo, and Farsi across the middle, Amundsen, Chaberko, and Morera in the back, and Hagen in goal. Big change. Well, the change there is
man.
Farsi.
Yeah.
Farsi started over Herrera. He came back from injury.
Oh, this game is so frustrating.
So, getting even
That was
more
just the
frustrating.
lineup.
No, but I'm just remembering what happens on the back line. And it's just
Ninth minute.
Okay. All right.
Ninth
Go ahead.
minute,
Go ahead.
Columbus
go ahead.
with the sub as Amundsen leaves the game early. Oh, I'm sorry. As Amundsen leaves the game
No,
early.
but hold on. I think this is important. I want to talk about this. I know that we're doing like a review here, but I want to ask the question.
We've been
now.
drinking. Go proceed.
When I asked so Amundsen leaves because he defended a ball at the line from, I don't know who it was, number 21, whoever it was, got a breakaway ball like in the whateverth minute,
Allende.
and he was offside. He shot it, made it past Hagen, and Amundsen, he injured himself, sacrificing himself to save the ball at the goal line. Incredibly. He did an awesome job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This leads to his injury that ultimately gets him subbed off, what you were just talking about. They didn't raise that flag on the offside until well after 21 had possession of the ball. And maybe I don't know the rules. You guys tell me. But this was a recurring theme the entire game where they had offside calls where the flag was not brought up until well after the offside player was playing the ball. Like, is that not when the flag should go up, when the offside player makes a play?
They like the safety net, and they're so terrified of upsetting Messi or whoever else. So they
It's across
gonna
all
wait for the
leagues,
flag.
right?
Yeah,
But
they let
I
him
would say
play.
this: there was
It led
one
to
even
it led
worse.
to this injury.
There was one even worse against
did.
Nashville too,
Yeah.
where the guy was clearly 15-yard offside, and then they kept playing it all the way into the goalie. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, it led to
So-
this injury. So then he was subbed off. And
Subbed off in
I
the
don't know if we know
ninth
anything
minute.
about what his timeline is, but that was really,
We
really
don't yet.
frustrating. And I think it had an impact on the rest of the game.
Yeah, I would even argue that, and we can go on after this, but I would argue that more injuries occur for them being offside and them not calling it than goals or mistakes or anything else combined. Because I mean, it's usually like a breakaway or like a last ditch effort. I feel like I've seen this happen like
I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit conspiracy theorist kind of like.
Oh,
I'd be
100%. I have
interested to
no
see-
facts to back that up.
yeah. There's no facts
Just
on that.
since we're talking about it, I'd be interested to see what the Crew outfielders saves stat was for this game versus Hagen's. We can talk about that later, but there
So,
were many outfielder saves on the line and fewer
In the ninth
by the
minute.
man with the gloves. Go ahead.
Ruvalcaba comes in for Amundsen, who had been gingerly playing on that knee since saving the ball off the line in the 4th minute. All right, 13th minute, Haas.
Goal for Allende. Gazdag fouls Busquets near midfield, and it gives Miami a free kick. Messi takes the free kick quickly while the ball is still moving and catches the Crew off guard because the ball was still moving. He plays it over the top to Allende, who runs onto it, the ball in the box, rips one past Hagen, who should have come out but didn't.
Yep.
Even the TV announcer calls out that the ball was moving when Messi took it.
Yeah.
But the league is too afraid of Messi to make calls against him. 1-0. He did the same thing in Cleveland. He
Yep.
took at
Correct.
least 2 free kicks while the ball was still moving that they didn't stop. 1-0 Miami.
And I would
So-
argue we were going to win. Anyway,
We're gonna move quickly. 2 minutes later, 15th minute, Haas.
Goal for Messi. Arfston plays the ball back to Hagen as Miami applies pressure. Hagen tries to fake out Kramashi, applying pressure and attempts a ball downfield that goes straight to Messi at the edge of the box. He chests it down, shoots it right past Hagen. 2-0.
He didn't even wait for the ball to stop moving.
I mean, to be
You got
fair,
a hand on it.
you put Messi. You hit Messi in the chest. You did not get that ball very high.
yeah. He plays it on the ground to Messi's chest. That was on the ground.
All right, 9 minutes later, and 24th, Haas.
Goal for Messi. Miami have possession and Busquets plays a ball over the top from the center circle to Messi in behind Ruvalcaba, and he then ships it over and on-rushing Hagen 3-0. Farsi was out of position when the ball was played, which kept Messi on.
Yep.
All
That's so
right,
Farsi.
so we go into halftime with
keep
Columbus down 0-3. Coming out of halftime, Miami with one change as Ustari replaces Rios Novo in net. I'm not quite sure why they did this,
I
but
think it's the other way around. Rios Novo replaced Ustari, but
Whatever.
They're down to the
Okay.
fourth goalie or something too.
I think that the keeper was getting hot, and so they replaced him with another keeper who was wearing a short sleeve.
he was bored, so
Keeper
they
kid.
I'm pretty
Cold.
sure Miami was just like a fan appreciation night. And that was just a fan.
I don't remember which one of these. There's a keeper on the roster that's best friends with Messi and like grew up playing with him, and the whole reason he's on the roster is because of Messi. So I just don't remember.
That's the coach.
It's the whole team.
It's the whole team.
whole team, dog.
It's the whole team, but the goalkeeper is not very
The
good.
name Rocco Rios Novo is tight. Proceed.
So, 57th minute, yellow card issued to Martinez of Inter Miami for 2 footing studs up into the legs of Aliu.
is that a straight red?
And if this was not Miami, this would have been a straight red.
Okay. Okay.
Do you guys remember what who was it last year? It was
Camacho.
nope.
Camacho got a
Derek
red
Jones.
for doing a double.
when
double
De- Derek Jones, and I think
against
it was
Miami.
Charlotte, came on the field, and within like a minute and a half, he like stepped on somebody's toes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it
They
was
red
Derek
carded.
Jones.
Yeah.
It dribbled.
He
and
dribbled.
somebody, yeah.
And the person came over the ball, and and they gave him a red card. But this
Yes.
2-footed scissor tackle right in the middle of the field. You know.
Charlotte games don't count like Miami games don't count.
So 58th minute, Haas.
goal for Ruvalcaba.
Woo!
Yet another player to score before Gazdag. Corner kick taken by Shambo, and he plays
that
an
man a paisley
outswinger
suit.
into the box where Ruvalcaba is able to beat Falcone to the ball. He gets his head to it near the penalty spot, knocks it in past Rios Novo. 3-1. The Crew are in it.
Good,
We got a
good
game.
hitter.
Don't call it a comeback.
All right.
I was calling it. I had 3-3. I was like, it's coming now.
62nd
Take it easy,
minute.
Mort.
Yellow card issued to Ruvalcaba of the Crew, and this one makes absolutely no sense. Both players are grabbing and pulling. Falcone finally grabs Ruvalcaba's
yeah.
jersey on the left shoulder, pulls him across his body and down to the ground. They begin.
Yeah. This
Wait.
was a weird one.
I did not know
Immediately.
he got carded for this. I thought it was Falcone
Yes.
that
Yeah,
got carded.
yeah.
No.
Falcone got carded. The foul was
graphic-
called on Ruvalcaba.
Oh
graphic-
my God.
The TV graphic
No.
said
Yeah, the graphic
the
was
graphic
wrong.
said Falcone.
but it was wrong. It was
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, the graphic was wrong.
I would argue the graphic was right.
Was right. He's the one who reacted.
And you
That's
would argue that, but
I-
what we're telling you is that it is wrong.
which
Okay, fair.
if it
No, actually, you're right. He got the yellow card.
Who got the yellow?
No, Rubalcaba.
Yeah, no, that's what we're saying.
Yes,
That's what we're saying.
That's what we're all saying.
When did
Yeah.
Mort get here?
We'll talk about that later.
Don't leave, Mort. We're just
all right,
kidding.
let me finish. So the center referee immediately pulls the yellow card for Rubalcaba,
Yeah.
Which
and
it
awards Miami the free
shouldn't have-
kick.
Okay, yeah.
Which
Yes.
yes,
So that was saying, yeah, the graphic was
It's
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
And I was referring to myself being right.
All right, Ben, you can cut out the last minute. All right, go ahead.
It's gonna be too hard.
So center referee immediately pulls the yellow card to Rubalcaba and awards Miami the free kick. 64th minute. Pause.
Goal for the human biter. Messi turns past the tired Chaberco and surges forward as Miami passes the ball a few times and are patient with it enough to find Suarez unmarked just outside the 6 as he shoots near post 4-1.
And human biter hit real weird.
This is
You know,
this is a
he's
good goal.
not
actually.
any human. Chiellini most recently. I rewatched that last night after Suarez scored because I just wanted to relive that moment.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it recently, the 2014 World Cup, where Suarez takes his third professional bite during a professional match. The commentary from the announcers is chef's kiss. I recommend everyone watching it. So I'm glad that Suarez got a taste
Those
in this one
teeth
as
were
well.
made
Go
for
ahead.
fighting.
All right, 72nd minute, Columbus with the triple sub as Herrera comes in for Arvston, Sadich for Nagby, and Russell Rowe for Gas Dog. 80th minute, Columbus brings in the good boy Lassie for Farsi. 89th minute, Hawes.
Goal for Fafa. Crew give the ball away to Messi. He plays the ball through to Picoult, who's onside because the ball was played when he was still in their own half. He dribbles at Hagen, shoots low and hard, past him, 5-1.
Isn't
I
Lassie
don't
a
care
girl?
about these.
Yes, Lassie is technically a girl.
It's,
Technically.
The dog. the dog.
The
Lassie.
famous one.
The famous one.
I don't see gender, especially on dogs.
You can't tell with all that.
It's all
That's
that
what I've been saying that for
It's all
life. Especially if they're spayed or neuter your dogs is what we're talking about.
Calm down, Bob.
David Spade.
This one,
Bob Barker.
This one finally ended at 5-1 in favor of Messi and friends. With the result, the crew have played their last 6 without a win, tying 4 and losing 2. Hawes, hit us with those tables.
Just tables! 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 I can't know how to hear any more about tables!
In the Eastern Conference, we've got Philadelphia in first with 34 points, Cincinnati in second with 30, Miami in third with 29, Nashville in fourth with 29, your Columbus Crew in fifth with 28, Red Bull in sixth with 27, Orlando in seventh with 27, Charlotte in eighth with 25, and NYCFC in ninth with 25. Montreal is in 15th with 1 win.
Woof.
Points wise, we're all right.
It's two things here, though. Yeah, we're not that far off the top because there was some other upsets, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of other teams right there now.
Yeah.
So it's easy to drop even further. There's not a whole lot of gap going down either.
Yeah. Teams are getting better, and we are not
Yeah.
trending that way.
No, injuries are killing
No,
us
we're
right
in
now.
like a free fall, basically.
I was
Yeah, it
I
could
was
be
thinking
worse.
about this on Friday driving up to the Ultra, just north of, I think it was north of Mount Vernon, Ohio. There's a bar called Rock Bottom. That's along the road there, and I think first of all that's a great name to a bar, and I was thinking that's where we are now.
Well, not yet.
Bottom.
I mean, we're,
Galaxy's
yeah,
on the phone. They're talking to Montreal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the way we can't, we'll talk about it more. Do we have a circ stat?
This is Steve Cirque, and this is a Cirque stat.
Only the 14th regular season loss of a 4 or more goals in Crew 96 history. The most recent one was 9-7-24 when Seattle won 4-0 at LDC. That was when Zawadzki was in goal, if you remember. The most recent legit, by Cirque standards, 4 or more goal loss was July 7th of 2018 at LA Galaxy. This is the 9th time ever allowing 5 or more goals in a league game. The most recent was in May of 17 at Toronto. Ouch.
Yeah.
Unrelated, do you think it's a coincidence that Bob Barker was so interested in spaying and neutering dogs? Barker? We'll be right, chap.
Have you or a loved one been affected by the Columbus crew? Do you wish that there was a space to talk about all things crew and capybaras? Well, you're in luck. We here at Discord Deck have built a home for crew fans near and far. We have more than just crew discussions and are more than just crew fans. We have a book club, MLS Fantasy League, and much more. If you'd like to join our weird little family, then go to our website, discorddeck.soccer, and click on Join Server, discorddeck.soccer.
Side effects may include giddiness, excitement that lasts longer than 2 hours, we are not a cult, and strong opinions for the color purple.
All right, we're back. Let's get into our thoughts and players.
Thoughts and players.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, I think the first thing we need to talk about
Nicholas Hagen.
is Hagen. He is a professional player
In name and contract.
No,
So-
I mean I've had no problem with him. We've talked about him being like the sleeper on the bench
Yes.
in the past. Let's just talk about, there were 2 games, right? Nashville. Was he the right replacement for Schulte against Nashville?
Poor first half, great second half.
Yeah, he faced 7 big chances, and I thought he played well. In fact, after that game, I was like, I still think Hagen's probably better than Schulte, based solely on
I've been arguing that too.
Yeah. And I my question is, before we get too deep into this, but I mean, Schulte has had a howler game or 2, right?
Yep.
I feel like it was early on as well under the Nazi
good,
system.
Howler
bad.
Bad.
Howler's bad.
Even
bad?
this year he had some. And you have to remember
bad too.
against Charlotte too, right? He was the best player for the crew. He was the 3rd best player on the field or something, according to FootMob, right?
Oh, Hagen. Yeah.
Hagen.
Against Charlotte.
Yeah.
He was like
and that's when I went out
late
and
sub,
argued,
yeah.
like, yeah, I think it's kind of a 1-for-1.
Or late, right before the
Yeah,
game.
I will. Yeah, and the only reason why I say that is, and I do rate Schulte. I think Schulte is great. I think when it comes to crosses into the box, Hagen deals with them better, and I think actually Schulte is pretty poor at that, including corner kicks or anything big into the box, which is wild because Schulte is 6'3", right? And he should be able, like, it just seems like he's more, I don't want to say alpha, but I just feel like I see he's yelling at people. He's like being more, and I do think the thing that I love about Schulte is how quick he is to react, like his actual saves at point blank range. Like he does really well when the XG is high. And I thought Hagen did the same, but this game just seemed like the yips. And it seemed like the yips from the entire defense, to be fair.
Yeah, two things. The first one is obviously having a game
This game
understanding and reading the
Nashville
ball.
or this game Miami?
Miami.
Miami.
Just Miami.
Yeah.
So let's roll into Miami. And
Yeah,
I want to just point out that we're out Zawadzki, which we were against Nashville, right? But they had Amundsen, Chiverko, Moreira in the back. What did Moreira play against Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did. So he was back. But this is a good back line, these 3. They've been with the team for a couple years. Like, they know the system. I'm just getting back to my argument from earlier. Amundsen leaving, I think, had an outsized impact on this game because we were more, this is no slight on Ruvalcaba, but like just from a who's in the back, who's working together standpoint, I felt
I
like
don't know.
According to FotMob, Ruvalcaba had the second best game for the Crew against Miami.
I'm not saying that it's
7.3.
Ruvalcaba's fault. I'm just saying from a chemistry and
Sure.
I think it is more of a back line issue than it is a Hagen issue. I mean, except for Hagen can't chip the ball out of the 18.
Yeah, he was off
right
yeah.
to Leo Messi.
And
And
I would argue the pass on the ground
he
to
did.
Right. Arfston, I think.
So, I mean, that kind of mistake, it just can't happen, especially in a big game against Miami. But I mean, Schulte, to me, is still the number one. He's the best, most experienced keeper that we have. There's a reason why he's getting U.S. men's national team call-ups, and Hagen is maybe getting Guatemalan call-ups.
He's their number one.
2.8 against Miami.
So
I will say the first goal is a little bit experience because he hesitates and he stands where he could sweep. He could be sweeper keeper on that one and just hammer that ball up the field somewhere.
And he was in no man's land on Messi.
Yes.
And again, I understand it's Lionel Messi. I'm not trying to.
They were two
whatever.
separate. I don't disagree with you, but they were two separate. And I think the second one was part of the first one because the first one he didn't come off his line. The second he did come off his line and was hesitated and was out of
and
position.
Got chipped. Yeah, and so then he also got beat near post.
No, but I will argue on the first one he could have gotten to the ball first.
That's what I'm saying. I legitimately
on the second one I don't think he could have gotten to the ball first.
First goal or
first goal.
First goal.
Okay, because for a minute there, you guys were talking about first and second Messi goal, which were the second and third goals.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I think you had Hagen having a bad game, but our defense was not very good. I mean,
and they haven't been.
And they haven't
This is
been.
what I was saying. No, but
I agree with you.
You don't think that's related to the injury?
Not Amundsen.
I agree it's related to the injuries.
Yes.
Plural. Having consistency is key in defense. Everybody knows that.
At the beginning of the year, Chaburko actually played very well as the center of the three. Since Zawadzki came into that, they have been better. And since Zawadzki has been out and Chiba has gone back to that middle, they have been like insanely poor. Completely miscommunication.
In April, Zawadzki is part of maybe majority of the reason that shut Messi down for the most part.
Oh, Messi did
game in Cleveland.
Nothing. Yeah, regardless of score. I mean, optically, just based on vibes.
Zawadzki did so much to help the team.
100%. He did nothing, but Messi came out to last night and did 2 goals, 2 assists. Yeah, and made us look like a USL team.
Yeah, but the other thing is when that second goal goes in, this game is just about over because you're playing a team that would be very happy to sit back a little bit and counter. And when you are in down and you have to commit people forward, you're making yourself so vulnerable. You saw that the last one, our furthest back player is on top of the circle on their side.
100%.
So he was behind our line, but he was still on his own half, right? Kaka, whatever name is. What was his name?
Fafa Pico.
Fafa Kaka.
Yeah.
Kaka that Fafa. You know what I mean? I'm not going to work here anymore.
So I mean, I think in terms of the game, we started out pretty decent. We got smacked in the face and game over. Because then you're playing into Miami's hand in the way they play.
Yeah, Jimmy Conrad calls it a quicksand game. Like something goes wrong and then they just keep going wrong. You second guess things, and every time you second guess or do something weird, they make you pay for it. And this gave me vibes, and like I remember, I remember being on the opposite end of this with Cucho. Like, oh man, we got him. Like I can smell blood in the water, and we just keep putting goals away.
The replacements.
I mean, they couldn't figure
quicksand
it out.
Game.
We had.
Oh, the replacement.
Mo Farsi come in this game, correct, and play on the outside.
He started
this game. He didn't start the game before, right?
Correct.
Is that the best call? I mean, you're talking about a player who currently right now has 0 goals, and he has 5 assists so far, but we're struggling up top.
He's been the starter. until his injury.
Who do you play out there instead?
That's a really good question, because I think the second part of that question I'm going to ask is, if we're having so many injuries in the back, clearly a 3 in the back formation is not working real well. What changes could Nancy make to actually improve that back line when we are so injury riddled?
Well, that's interesting. So you're
I'm saying go to a back 4, something else to where
Nancy doesn't change.
Yeah, so you're saying and I did see, and this is shout out Darby. He was going to hop on the pod tonight, but he was unable to. But he was saying like, "Hey man, a lot of this is on Nancy," and I was like, "I don't know," but the fact that you brought that up is interesting. Like, the calls have been suspect. I will say to start that our depth is garbage, right? Like we knew that going in. We're like, if everybody's healthy, we have like maybe 1 or 2 subs that I would do a game. And now it's like, well, if Zawadzki's out and he's your guy who you play everywhere, you're in a bad spot. So
yeah, some of the people coming in, Lassi, Lapilainen is not it.
No, man, he's not.
But I'm still surprised that Jones have fallen so far from grace, and I don't think he gotten a minute yet, pretty much this year.
Right.
Not one.
The only issue I have, and I don't think I have this on the doc to talk about later, I do want to say, why aren't we seeing Taha? Like, I don't understand playing all these people, like bringing in, like when we need offense, we bring in Cedric, and why not bring in Taha or drop Gazdog and have I
see where you're going. Why don't use the
youth
youth and give them experience and have some players that have potential?
And I actually don't love Herrera as a wingback. I really, really, really liked him when he was subbing in for Herrera in the back and getting up every once in a while. I thought that's where he shined. I think as a wingback, I'm like,
let me circle back to my question real quick, because I didn't hear a good resolution or answer or anything to it. You're getting beat 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing different? What changes? You're getting beat 3-1. What are you doing different? Like that's my issue. I'm watching.
So we go into half, we're down 3-0.
Right. And then we come out and we're doing the same things, going, it'll work this time.
Dude,
it'll work this time. And
not having subs at half was wild. Our first sub that wasn't forced was at 72 minutes. You were absolutely correct, come to think about it. So we didn't make a sub until 72 minutes, and we at that point
you said exactly why though. He has really not a whole lot of good alternatives coming in. Yes, you say Taha, but I don't.
But that's what he's paid for.
Yeah, but Taha hasn't done anything.
No. I'm not saying Taha
like 7 minutes.
Nancy needs to figure that out, and that should be known before you get down to Miami. That hey, if we get one injury here, we're gonna have to do something. And the inability to shift from what you're doing when you're getting slaughtered. It wasn't. If it was 3-0, but it felt like 5-0.
Yeah, 100%.
It felt so much worse. They were not in that game. They were getting toasted all over the field, and it was exactly what every team has been doing to them. Jamming him in the middle and then the quick counter, and our defense can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it literally felt like they had 76 breakaways that game. Like, okay, we had the ball for like 10 minutes and then they just kick it and it's like, goal. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we said it before. We need a little bit of quality in each part of the field. In the back, in midfield, we need alternatives. If Jones is not playing minutes, why do we have him? Then they have to find somebody else that can come in and take minutes for these guys. And then up front, we know we don't have a number 9. And the thing is, if you don't have a number 9, you don't have that threat. People can be much more comfortable in defending and feeling like we can take this pressure because they're not going to score. They're not going to have this player that's going to do something, find a way to get a goal, and they can just sit in. And that's what every team does to us.
We've talked about how we've been able to advance the ball to the offensive third, but we can't get it into the middle. We can't get it into the box. We're not seeing maybe we in some games we'll see chances, but the chances are squandered. And in this game, they're just what would Ben? I think you were the one who said one shot on goal. Is that right? Is that the final? We had one shot on goal in this game against Miami.
Yeah, yeah.
So so let's talk about the front, because if we're not scoring, I mean, letting 5 by, that's a problem. But like, just forget about that.
Done.
How do we
confidence?
How do we get some goals? Who needs to be up front, and what is going on with Gas Dog?
I'm very proud of us for not bringing up Gas Dog for like an hour of talking. Yeah. I'm very proud. Good job. Pat yourselves on the back. Good job. Let's talk about Gas Dog.
I mean, I've been saying Paisley suit.
Yeah, no, we've been using weird euphemisms that literally no one gets.
First of all, say the reason why I would go after Gas Dog is he's playing. If he was a regular player making Shambo money, I wouldn't have any problem with what he's really doing right now. He's not. You're supposed to be the difference maker. You're supposed to be the one that goes in and lifts everybody. Like, you can feel the confidence in the team when a Cucho was coming in. But it's like, oh yeah, he will make something happen. He makes us all better. I believe in him. I will. Let's see what he can do for us. And the whole team kind of lifts. And we don't get anything that is out of the ordinary. We don't get nothing out of the ordinary.
What's out of the ordinary is how bad his touch is when the ball is played to him.
It's
how
bananas.
often he turns the ball over. How often he makes the same exact run as another player on the pitch. He is not good.
I can't stop nodding.
No.
Can't see this.
He's not good.
He's not playing good. I don't disagree. And watching him on Wednesday against Nashville, it was exactly what Haas was just saying.
Yeah.
It was a lot of, I'm going to call them lazy runs, to where they weren't done with 100% effort. They were just kind of, he was jogging. He was jogging into positions that weren't even really that great of positions to be in.
Raw jogging even.
Yeah. Like, it's like, dude, you've got to be doing something. Where's your intent? Where's the intent? Like, and he's putting himself too deep of positions receiving the ball, and that's not where he wants it. It's almost like he's being asked to do a position that he doesn't want to play.
I'm going to take the assignment between now and, since we have a bye week, I'm going to watch, I'll commit to like half dozen Philly games. I'm going to fire up his last 6 games with Philly and see what he looked like with that team.
That being said, I will say that
because I feel like that we got foisted.
Yeah, we got hosed, but
we gave him an extension.
Yeah, and we gave him an extension. We'll get to that in a second.
That's before he did anything for the team.
Issa.
Yeah, still hasn't done anything for the team. So. Yeah, watching him. So
he's a big problem.
The other thing, the other thing that we're not talking about is that we are very one-dimensional right now. Like, we have a way of playing. We're not playing balls in behind, and that's like where he was making his runs. And what's wild is we're like, after the first game, what's crazy, and this is totally on me as well. I'm like, dude, alley-oop kind of is awesome. No, actually, he's not. But he is quick and he's fast, and that spoke
quick and fast.
Yeah, he's both, and like that's one thing we were missing. Like Rossi's not like Rossi just has the speed. He's kind of quick.
Rossi's quick, if not both quick and fast.
There's not a killer, dude. There's not a killer on this lineup. There's not somebody who's going to come into this game and every other player on the other team has to pay attention to that player.
Yes. I think that I would argue even Rossi coming off would be like, they're bringing Rossi off the bench. Now we're really in trouble. You don't get that. We had that with Cucho because it's like, Cucho's coming off the bench. We'd be like, oh, crap.
All right. That being said, I do think Russell Rowe in the last 2 games has been a difference maker. He was shooting outside the box, and he was providing something different. And I thought he was more when he came on both games. I was like, something was different, and it was. I mean, in the Miami game, it was a complete crapshoot.
I'm not even putting the Miami game out there. Like, it was.
Everything
so
after
bad.
20 minutes is just ruined.
Correct.
He had one off the post or the crossbar and that, right?
Yeah, at Nashville. Against
Russell
Nashville.
Rowe.
No, Russell Rowe had
he did in
a
Miami, too.
shot from outside. I don't think it hit the post, but it was.
But it was close. I mean, the thing is, again, we joke around a lot about when Nazi was like, "Oh, he's the best finisher." No, dude, when that guy gets one touch and he strikes it even from 20 yards out, it's pretty good. It's better than anybody else on the team. I wouldn't put it over Cucho. I thought that was like a bit of a all right, man, take it easy. But
why don't they scheme it for that then? Why don't they set up plays for him to be in a little pocket of space outside
watch
the box?
last 20 minutes of the last two games, and he does do that.
But they need to set it up more purposely.
He can do a lot in a little pocket of space. We just need him to come good. We need him to do the finished product after getting through that little pocket.
Yeah.
Like, put the ball away. Just like
or do that in the last 4 games. I think we've had a goal in like half of them where we shoot from distance, the goalie spills it out in front, and then someone puts it away.
All right. I want to do one more topic that's not on the outline, but giving up the first goals, like playing
in the first 5 minutes
behind,
or 10 minutes.
This is so annoying to be like so predictably and routinely giving up goals early and just always being behind. And we can't score.
Right.
And so you see what happens, right? Like, I don't have the stats in front of me, but like, we just haven't won a game in a while. What was the last game we won?
Back in May.
Charlotte?
10th.
It was May,
Charlotte.
4-2. Right.
Yeah.
At the beginning of May. But since then, without looking at it, most, if not all of the games, we're giving up goals super early and we're just playing from behind the whole time and we can't finish. Not a good recipe.
I think
Find a new cook.
Currently watching. Well, then I think that's part of what I'm saying is we're watching teams figure out Nancy's system. We're watching teams that are gaming and doing things immediately.
I don't think the system's the problem though. I think it's the people who are playing this. Like, we need better players.
Yes and no, but when you have different players, you have to adjust the system. Like, if you're not adjusting the system, you're Greg Berhalter going,
the U.S. national team.
Just do better. And
this is also the toughest part of our schedule.
It is. Yeah.
So early in the season when we thought,
but that was flukish too.
Still.
We were.
I
don't
know what to tell you because we have Vancouver coming up, Atlanta starting to show some life.
Yeah, but what's
Philly,
the score of Vancouver
Seattle
right now?
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
I want to see progression. Like we talked about at the beginning of last year. I want to see the wrinkles in Nancy's system. I want to see the little things he can change with this roster. He's in training with them every day. What can you change that you're seeing go wrong? Like, you don't have to revamp the whole system.
Sure.
But you don't have Cucho. You don't have Ramirez. You don't have whatever player's injured.
They have look, we have a bye week here. They're going into is Leagues Cups like starting up or something. Like, I know the Club World Cup is happening. Mm-hmm. We're going to be at some point in the next month or so. It might be closer to 2 months. Getting into the next trade window.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity. And I will say it now. If they don't make
3 home games in a row.
If they don't make roster or results changes between now and, August, September time, it's a big problem.
I'd like to say one more thing before we go to break. How lucky are we that we're not in this Club World Cup?
Oh, yeah. I thank you.
But except for we got an extra window to get people.
How? Yeah, you could have had the window to get more people. But Trey, you are 100% right. I had this thought today. How embarrassed would you be if this team was going into the Club World Cup?
Yeah, Gazdag versus Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Adios.
Dude, I wouldn't even be worried about Real Madrid. I'd be worried about
away.
And Halal or like Seoul or I don't
Yeah,
know. Where
I would be
the teams
worried
come
about
from.
like whatever Korean team we'd be facing, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like it wouldn't even be Real Madrid. I would be afraid of any team that we'd be coming up against.
But,
Yeah,
but
well,
to,
Aliu could be offside against any number
He's
of
offside
top flight
all
teams.
times. He
But
has no
stage
idea
match
how to.
3, Seattle takes on PSG. I'm sure that'll be a thriller.
nice. So we have
Someone's
3
gotta
home
tell
games.
Aliu what
We have a
offside
weekend
means.
off, and then we have 3 home games, and this is the time where we got to get it right.
Right.
So coming into July, we're going to play Seattle away on July 6th. Is the next away game. By then, we need to have things sorted out because then we have Seattle, Cincy, and Nashville, like on the away,
Yeah, we got 2
And,
weeks to figure it out.
and we need points. We need like at least 6-7 points from those
Okay.
3 games.
All right. Oh, and we saw. I mean, I don't want to totally give up hope because we've seen the moonshot in 23 where we made a couple trades in like during League's Cup during League's Cup in July, August, and then win out the rest of the season and take home the trophy.
We're sitting
But
pretty
like,
right now.
This is a new challenge.
it's
This is
not
a
a way
new
to
challenge for
survive.
Nancy. He
Yeah.
never have had this chance in his relatively short coaching career to come from like he have rejuvenated teams. Now we have to
maintain it.
maintain it or
No,
rejuvenate.
keep going. Keep going. No,
Rejuvenate.
give him time.
Yeah, rejuvenate.
All right,
That's
hey,
what I'm
so
saying.
Juventus.
let's
like
let
corduroy rubbing together.
Speaking of rereading, I do want to let's skim. Can we skim the internet? Okay, so we saw. Okay, boy, we were texting about this. Noah Kahan, is that how you say it?
Who cares?
Con?
Khan. There's a guy. I'm so confused by this. I hope someone can explain it. I don't know why I'm the one talking about it. There's a guy
There's
who
a
I've never
guy.
heard of playing music in a crew jersey, and that's the jersey leak. Discuss.
There are claims that this was, it came from the front office.
Too
to
meta.
leak
This is
the
too
jersey.
meta.
No, 100%.
But I
it
don't
came
think
from
they're
here.
smart enough to do such a thing. I think
No, I
accidentally
disagree.
gave him this jersey.
I think they're just stupid enough to do this type of thing. I absolutely.
Where was he? He
I'm
was playing
pretty
in
sure
Columbus.
that's
This guy was
what.
playing in Columbus,
and he was at the home game on Wednesday.
Yeah, and he's from Columbus, right? No,
I don't think so.
No, he's
Oh,
not.
England?
No, he's
Yes.
from. No. I looked him up because I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Why?
Yeah, no,
why am I
100%.
thinking about this guy? He's from New
Cincinnati.
England. He's from New England. He lives in New England.
Wait,
There's no
What do you
Columbus.
mean New England? That's like not a
Boston.
place.
Oh, he's from Vermont. That's why he sounds weird.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I read his
don't
whole
know. Whatever,
Wikipedia
man.
page while I was spiraling because you guys were just sending me pictures of a guy in a cruise shirt playing a concert. You're like, Jersey leak. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking
It looks
about?
like Scully's.
New Jersey leak.
Yeah, Vermont, though. He's from Vermont.
New England leak.
So he's a
New England.
Democrat. We get it.
I think we're
Okay.
burying the lead here.
Oh, 100% we're bearing the lead. Let's actually read the internet. So the part that I wanted to read was, everybody probably saw this already and it was all over the place, but it was on Blue Sky. Chris DeVille said, not quite as cool as Chalamet, but I'll take it.
So this goes back to DeVille.
Well, he didn't actually post it. That was a response, but I wanted to shout out DeVille because I pre-ordered his book because it's tight. It was actually put on by Ethan Dobson at I can't read that or whatever. It said third kid is dropped by Noah Klein at Columbus concert. So I would say this week we spent as a podcast texting friendship 3 to 4 hours texting about this, if it was good or bad. And it got heated to the point of Mort and Trey now have to celebrity deathmatch battle.
Is that on top of the 3 to 4
Celebrity
hours of you and
death
Trey
match.
debating together
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
at work?
No.
So,
that
so
was-
let me
that
go
was
back
not
fully.
debating.
You both came out said it's tight. I'll bite, and then you
No,
guys
whoa,
had
whoa,
a
whoa,
debate at work,
Whoa,
and suddenly you
whoa.
agree
I
on
I
hating it.
never said I would buy this thing. I walked into his office venting about this, how crappy it is.
All right, I said I'd buy it.
Ben said
so
he would
Ben
buy
is
it.
easily.
Who thinks it's a leak?
Ben buys everything.
Who thinks it's a leak? I think it's a leak.
So from sources I know was the front office absolutely this is how they leaked it. The front office came and gave him this jersey. 100%.
I'm gonna, you know what? Bold prediction. I think this is all bullshit. I don't think this is the.
All right.
I
If
want
not, you have to streak around Austin Stadium.
I saw somewhere on the internet someone was in attendance at this concert that is a Crew fan with someone from the front office who said, "Just wait, just wait."
That's my source.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
not really a source.
The one person I have not heard from on this panel is Mars. What are your thoughts on it? If it
Columbus
is a real
Crew
leak,
did Instagram, like all this out. It's real.
Okay.
They did not deny it.
Okay, so we got the.
So what are your thoughts?
Thoughts on what the like my thoughts on the jersey, like the team wearing the jersey.
No,
you want to describe it first? So
yeah, let's talk about it.
People
so
I can't see.
It's got it's got some black
see it.
sleeves. There's some Adidas stripes. There's like a kind of like a yellow top, and then a black stripe across the tits, and then like a yellow or white body that says Columbus Crew Old School.
Via like the 07 jersey.
Correct.
The Columbus
Stop
Crew
this podcast and Google it. We're not going to describe it.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah. So Himmel, do you like it? How you like it? You like it?
How do you feel?
I feel completely neutral about it. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Neutral is not a good thing. It doesn't like
for sure.
It doesn't harken back to any like. It's not like the Glidden MLS Cup kind of like if they were going to do a throwback.
Okay, no.
Right. Okay, pause.
Let me stop you right there. So here's my
I'll
thoughts
let Mort
on it.
talk. Mort's going to fight you with knives.
No, I'll let you talk first.
I'm going to
because you're
sway
gonna talk
him.
yourself in
I'm
a
just
corner.
going to sway him a little bit. So this was billed as a retro jersey. That's what we kept hearing, retro jersey. That's what they did last year. They did it with San Diego. They did it with
Portland,
Kansas City,
Miami.
They were
all year. They've been posting the old jerseys and like celebrating
retro kits.
Yes.
Sure.
They keep saying like, oh, here's the jersey that Parkhurst wore on the game that never happened.
This is not a retro kit. Period.
Well,
they did not take a previous jersey and do a refresh on it. It's not that. They took parts of other jerseys and mashed it up. It's 07 lettering. It is possibly 96 with the top yellow and black.
Yeah, the top kind of 96-ish.
And
you can see the 96 behind. Like you can see that jersey behind me.
That's my problem. It's
not really that at all, actually.
It is not a retro kit. To me, I think it's the 13-14 kit, which had the white bottom and the taxi cab across the chest.
I got that one too.
I thought it was more harken to that. But either way, it's not a retro kit. And that's why I dislike it.
And it doesn't look good. Who likes it? Who here likes it?
Mort, he buys everything.
I'll probably buy it too. Yeah.
You're good with it.
I like it because we actually get something that is different, that is a little bit more
bar,
rooted in.
baby.
It's way better than the Goosebumps garbage. Wrong color, yellow. Yeah, let's wear green. Let's throw green into all the crowd.
Okay. But here is one of the problems. Some of the some of the arguments that you guys had was, look at San Jose. That's a tight kit.
It's
and
a retro.
It had nothing to do with any of the jerseys they've had in the past. It was totally different. They didn't have anything remotely similar to it. They made like a 90s jersey. That's what you guys wanted. You wanted like the 90s jersey you guys own.
You wanted the Miami retro one, right?
And you wanted it yellow, which you also know what happened if it's going to be a third kit.
But it was
retro. It had to be white.
Okay.
It is not hard to fix this or to do. It should take something that is dear to Crew fans and do a refresh on it. Any Crew fan, I don't care. You pick a generation.
Sell the kits they wore against Cincinnati with the artwork on the numbers, and you'll sell more than this.
Okay,
it's a boring jersey.
There's a couple of things. It had to be a white jersey. First of all, it had to be a white jersey
Sure, fine.
because it's going to be a third kit.
Sure.
Okay, let me blow your mind. How about they do a Glidden white jersey? One of our favorites of all time. It's behind your head right now. If they make that a white kit and they do a refresh, 3 stars.
I'm having a hard
Then
time
it's not
looking at
retro?
that.
Yes, that is retro. That is taking the past.
That's not
doing a
white.
I'm
refresh
not
on it.
getting
It's
hung
yellow.
up on the word
No.
retro.
That's what I'm saying is like take something from the past, change it a little
Just
bit,
doesn't-
do a
it's just not
refresh.
a good jersey.
And that's what they did.
It's not good.
That is not what they did. They
took
mashed
various
they did a mashup.
jerseys. They did a mashup of historical shirts because that's a way to make everybody's jerseys from the past because they can't pick the one you like
Dude, it is.
and they put together.
Just wait till you see it with the shorts.
Yeah, that's very key.
And they
by the
don't
way,
have
Haas.
white shorts. They're not getting white shorts. They're gonna wear it with black.
Yes,
It is just this jersey is just yellow, a small thing of yellow that looks like a little like up to the top of the nipples, and then a small little black, and then white. It is lazy as all get out.
Thank
and
you.
my
You're
argument,
saying what I'm saying.
Yeah, my
Yes.
argument
Yeah,
is like
this
when you
is
look at
dumb.
San Jose's is like this crazy design with all these jig jags. And so I was like, I kind of like this. And then Trey was like, all right, let's do this. So we snippet all the white jerseys that Crew ever had and put them up. And this was absolutely my least favorite. Like all they had to do was just
So
redo the old jerseys, and I would be on board.
I
Martin,
like that argument, but what it sounds like is you guys just wanted a third kit that is cool.
No. Let me fix,
Because that
let me
used
fix this
argument with
jersey.
San Jose
Hold on.
had nothing to do with
Listen,
the jerseys.
let me fix this jersey
That's-
for you. Bring the
It's
yellow.
true.
Bring the yellow down to where the Adidas and the badge is. Bring the black down below the Columbus Crew
Bomb pop.
script. And then you turn the Columbus Crew into white, and then you have something that looks
okay.
good because the black would be falling across the chest line, and it would look good. This doesn't look good.
My argument is I think it looks fine. I argue they could look better. I know you have
like a
design
practice
ideas
kit.
that you think would look better.
That's
Others have
what
other design
Trey
ideas that would look better. To your point, it is lazy, but this behind me, the all yellow.
Yeah, it's lazy.
This is our jerseys.
So creative.
Yeah,
That
that's pretty
is the
lazy.
laziest thing that
100%.
exists. Have you seen our historical jerseys? They're the
So,
laziest thing.
If you don't want
There's
to
none
do
of our
something
jerseys
like
have
that,
been anything but lazy.
I will take
actually.
I will take lazy but fan favorite, and we've gone through it before. We have
The
episodes.
urine stain jersey is the most creative we've been.
That's the worst jersey we've ever had, and everybody agrees with it.
Hey, there we go.
Dude, if
Creativity.
they would have
like
taken
that.
the,
I
if
just
they
think
would have
you played
taken
very bad.
the
So you
tag,
just want a shirt from Dan Flashes as the jersey.
No, man, the best one we did a whole episode
it's
on
a funeral
this.
kit.
With the
yeah.
pinstripe, the black
Pinstripe's
stripe.
good.
Yeah,
Funeral
Pinstripes,
stripes good.
that's the one.
Or
But
the
the white
even
with the 3 yellow,
the taxi cab kit would have been fantastic,
which is
And
the
then you just-
the
with
printer
the black
jam
nationwide.
kit or whatever.
which is fine.
Like
To Morgan Hughes' point, we'd be happy as long as we see the old badge on it.
true, and they have the old badge
badges
on it.
on it.
All badges on it. And new
Oh,
Adidas logo.
I
They
think
could've done
that the
trefoil.
rollout is
Should've
really
been the-
dumb.
yeah,
I think.
trefoils.
I mean, I'm the youngest one here, and I didn't get it. So
Don't brag.
like, I'm not on the TikToks. So like, this is
But you're
super
on
dumb.
X.
This is super dumb. I'm ready to get off of X, guys. That's a
It's
different
brutal.
conversation.
It is brutal.
Different conversation.
Oh, I
hey,
have
let
been
me
on
tell you
there
this.
for-
I do
4
not.
months.
Wait, hold on. I do not hate this jersey.
No, we don't.
I just wish it was something else.
Yeah,
If
fair enough.
I would take any of our white jerseys if they just redid it and put the new Adidas on it, I would buy that over this. This is not
You'll
bad.
still buy it. You're still going to buy it.
Okay,
I'm
hold
probably still gonna
on.
buy
When I thought retro kit, I want to think McBride. I want to think Frankie. I want to think, Chad Marshall. I want to think these good thoughts of like somebody wearing the jersey. When you say retro kit,
Noah Khan.
Yeah.
that is who this is linked to forever in time.
Yeah, I want
Yeah, it's-
Bill
it's the-
Clinton.
it's the
I
Noah
want a
Khan
balanced
jersey.
budget.
Hey, so
Yeah.
you mentioned DeVille. He texted me during the Miami game, and he said, "I'm at the Miami game. We diverted our family vacation from the Keys a day early to attend.
Oh man.
Glad we did, but oof.
I don't think he's glad he did.
No.
Yeah.
All right,
I got to see this one in person. I got to see this one in the store. I got to see this thing on
I'll
me.
buy
I
it.
still
Thing
think
with
it's
shorts and
all a
socks.
farce. It's not actually. This is not actually the thing. And if it is, I I got a problem.
And also, it's nice to know what Trey likes to think about. He likes to think about these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lots of debating going on. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we should do it. Happy birthday
to you.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay. Happy birthday, Bird. You didn't hear from Bird. He texted me. It's his birthday. He's like, I'm out. Before we go any further, they lost 5-0 today against Chicago too.
Dang.
With a red. Two reds?
Yeah, there was a red card around, I think 40 something. I didn't actually watch it. I know Pippa. So he sent me kind of a breakdown. He said, Pippa got a red card. He said it was just bad. It wasn't as bad as 5-0, but 5-0 is pretty bad.
But it was 5-0.
So 5 goals there, 5 goals versus Miami, 5 goals in the UEFA Champions League final.
I'm buying a lottery ticket.
A lot of 5s.
What's the 5? No, in the CONCACAF.
Is that like an omen or something?
UEFA Champions League.
UEFA Champions League.
But also CONCACAF.
Oh, also,
right?
yeah.
Is that how it
No,
ended?
not
I didn't see how it
CONCACAF.
ended.
It was Champions League. Yeah. So Vancouver lost to Cruz Azul 5-0. And
A lot of 5-goal games.
Okay.
everyone was poisoned food.
You say soccer's boring.
The number 5 is often associated with human perfection, freedom, change, and transformation.
I'm sick of
you.
not freedom.
Okay.
Thank you for that. How did you pull that up so quickly?
Off the top of his head.
Chad.
Maybe you'll run the
Happy
2-1
birthday,
bot later.
Bird.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bird.
Thank you, Bird.
Is he still
27,
on vacationing?
probably. No, he's home.
Okay.
He just built a little house for baby Bird. It's so cute.
A coop. It's a coop.
A nest. You're talking chickens.
You
Do you call nests coops?
I'm talking chicken.
Coop.
Every time I see a nest, I'm going to tell my kids it's a coop.
He didn't get a coop. He got a minivan.
That's a blue jay coop.
Who is
Okay.
Filled
who's
with
our best
eggs.
number
All right.
5?
All right. Hey, we've got a big, a massive rundown.
Yeah, it's a rundown. We're coming to town. It's a rundown. Okay. What we're gonna do is a rundown. Down, rundown.
I think I want to start this one. We had talked about it a little bit, but Mort, you spent a long time this weekend at Mohican. Stacy, our president, who is the miles leader, she ran so much that her technology couldn't keep up. She ran over 100 miles this week, 110, about 100 on Saturday alone, for the Ultra Mohican, Mohican Ultra. What do you call it? It's not a marathon. It's a 100-mile race.
Ultra race.
Yeah, just ultra. And for
So
those
you
who
were
don't know, Mohican is like top 10 in the, I think, world, or at least in the United States.
Yeah, her
in
elevation gain over 96 miles was over 13,000 feet.
To 13.
Yeah, she said she wanted to say, "Hey guys, I am alive, barely," but she said that was brutal. So
It
I mean,
sucks.
if she ran 100 before, she never done Mohican. She done the 50 there before and 100, and this was pretty hard. She was hoping for like maybe 22 hours, and she ended up in 25 and a half. That's a long time, and she never stopped. I mean, like I don't think she, other than pit stops, she never sat down. So
I ran 31 and had to go to the hospital.
At Mohican.
True story. I had the hospital.
So we had downpour on Friday night, which didn't help parts of the trail.
Sucks,
they run
man.
on the horse trail part of it, so it gets pretty damn muddy.
That sounds
They
fun.
had I think it was about 200. So they have 200 racers. So they have the marathon, the 50, but 200 that ran the 100-mile race.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that, it was about 35 women or something. And I will say there was probably about, I never checked the final number, but I bet it was 40 people that did not finish.
Yeah, usually
So
it's
there
over
was
50% at Mohican.
Yeah, it's a lot. But no, she made it in 25 and a half hours. She was pretty close on the third place. I think the fastest woman was about an hour faster than she was. But she got fourth place and made, I think, $300, something like that.
You can make
$200.
money off that?
Yeah. First place. So she made $200.
I should run faster for the money.
Well,
So now she's overall happy, but she walks funny.
she's got another one in 2 weeks, right? When you're going up
Yes.
here.
That's the brutal
She has
one.
another
And
one.
actually,
She has another 100 in 2
In
weeks.
2 weeks.
she has
2
another one
weeks.
in 2 weeks, and that's out of Wisconsin, and that is also one of the tougher ones. So she starts up with two of the toughest hundreds, like when it comes to like the elevation game.
Jeez.
Wait.
So-
Legit answer or question. Sorry.
Yep.
No, do the answer first. It'll be like Jeopardy.
Answer your question.
Does she run in between?
What is clinical insanity?
Between the races now,
What is
she
clinical
will have
depression?
to she needs to get out and get moving and get some runs in.
Yeah, I
between
mean,
these
I
races.
would hope like Rabdo doesn't set in or like something crazy, but then like to go out and run another 100 miles.
This gonna be a real test here. So
Right. And I have the privilege of providing the
First
last
Scantron.
meal, the final supper before that race.
Pizza.
yes,
I'm ready. I have
Get her some gabagool.
but no, I shout out to her. She is so tough, and shout out to like all her friends that came out and
She's
ran.
so much better than us. It's wild.
Yeah, but she had pacers for the last two laps, so she had 4 people running each, like roughly
awesome.
a half marathon each through the night. That made the work easier for me too in terms of check-ins with her and all that.
Mm.
Dude,
So
pacing is
shout out to them.
wild.
They came out, camped, and hung out with us. So it was a fun weekend. More fun for me than it was for her for sure.
Congrats.
But then again,
Stace,
I didn't
man.
get
wild.
Yeah.
I didn't get a
All
belt
right.
buckle.
so
That's
so round of
awesome.
applause for our president. 110 miles. And that will lead our charge. We had 1,192 miles as a group, and that took us from Juneau, Alaska, last week to. Are you ready for it? It's
Yeah.
Let's see. It's basically, if you look on a map,
I'm
we
looking
made it. It's Wales. Wales,
like a whale.
Wales, Alaska.
Are we Jonah? That's
Oh.
a Bible joke. Nailed it.
Wales, Alaska. It's about as far west as you could go in Alaska before we get to the Bering Strait. So next week we're making the jump. So if you look up Wales, Alaska, that is where our run club ran to from Juneau.
Spell Wales.
Wales.
ES. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Wales,
Wales like
Wow,
wow.
that's impressive.
We almost made it to the Diomede Islands, but not quite that
Which
far.
is Russian.
So not quite that
I
far.
can see Russia
There's
from
actually
my
two.
house.
There's actually two islands there.
This is
One
the
is the US
exact
and one
point
is
where
Russia.
Sarah Palin was.
Yeah.
when she was making her case to be
Not
the
my
vice president of the United
you know
States.
what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, she not into all that hopey changey stuff, but also top milers this week. We'll read down till we read my name, of course. Chase, who did another ultra. What was that one called? End of the World or something?
Yep.
He did End of the World.
Do you think
in
he thought
Pennsylvania.
he was going to win? He's like, I got this in the bag, playboy.
I don't think he knows we talk about him.
He had he doesn't think about us at all. He had 75 miles.
I think about him.
Phil Cogley had 49.4 miles.
Good job, Phil.
It's his birthday today. Also not a listener. Happy birthday,
Really?
Phil. Not a listener. I'll text him right now. Happy birthday.
Text him from the group.
My next door neighbor, Tom.
Hey,
Tom.
He put up 49 miles. I saw him outside today because he was number one like yesterday. He said, I think I got number one this week. And I said, I have bad news for you. Because, I was getting all the ultra updates from you and Stacy. But Summer with 41. My sister Mindy's still up there at 39.
Good job,
Morgan
Mindy.
Mindy.
Morgan Mindy. Nanu. Chad Kellogg.
Chad GPT.
Yeah, he was up at 35. Francesca at 35. Michaela at 31. Patrick S. I don't recognize Patrick. He's at 30 and a half. Then let me.
Who won the pod? The people are here. They're fast forwarding to figure out.
They want to know who won the
pod.
Let me just tell you that this week, Ben won the pod.
Oh.
Are you serious?
At 21-2.
Nice, man.
Hold on.
I
let me find a trophy. I got a trophy around there somewhere because I'm lonely.
I was at 20.2 and I saw you there. I saw you sitting there like an innocent little wounded animal that I could just go walk around the block. And I had one too many dance recitals to go to this weekend and take you down. So congratulations.
Should have recorded the walk in and out.
I had a absolute Thursday and Friday. I had massive panic attacks at work. Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. I was like, I'm freaking out. And I texted Ashley and I'm like,
this at all.
I've got to run these out. I was like, I'm freaking out. I'm like shaking. So I ran 6.5 Thursday and Friday. Mm-hmm. Did it help? Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
It's good. It's good for the mind.
And then Trey and I would come in and like we would just yell about jerseys. Yeah.
Yep. It's still going on somehow.
You got a lot of opinions.
My big beef is with the rollout. So what are you doing?
Beef rolls? Oh, I know, man. Dude, there's so many cool ways. I feel crazy when
Chris
it comes
Holmes
to some of this stuff.
He's cool to the young.
Seth S. That's a new name. I don't recognize Seth. 30.2 miles.
That's a lot of miles.
Good job, Seth.
Jane and Chris at 26, Evan at 24, John at 24, Jesse at 24, Nelly 23, Nate Carpenter 22, oddly a number divisible by 2.
Yeah, we should go back through. We should audit just Nate's runs.
Yeah. I noticed, you know what? I saw his brother on Strava not putting up any miles, curiously.
How did you see somebody not running on Strava?
How you see somebody? How you say cucumber?
Strava puts these names up in front of me.
You say
cucumber?
Kevin at 22. We talked about Ben. Priscilla at 20.
Priscilla's such a cool
shout
name.
out Caleb, who
he's doing it, guys. He's doing it again. He's reading until he sees his name.
No, I'm at my name. Caleb also at 20.2.
Everyone
nice
hates
job,
this podcast.
Caleb.
He went past the club leader. He just kept going.
We all know why we're here, so that I can hear my name read on the.
This is such a weird long play for you to just say your name about running. Like, I'm like, we should talk about crew. We should do a podcast together. And you're just like, I want to say my name about running.
What about me?
All right, listen, everyone listening, we lost so bad last night.
Can you cut all this? Just cut it all. Cut it all.
I was like, oh,
shout out Tommy, who
He's
doesn't
like,
listen to us at all, but David's sucking too.
Man. Okay. All right.
They spent a lot more money than we did too.
Yeah, and remember, sign up for the tree farm. I know the
grant
deadline was on Saturday, so it doesn't to guarantee a shirt, but you can still participate and do not get a shirt.
Listen, you sign up now. We got you a shirt. I can give you a shirt.
That's right. You sign up for Grant. You sign up for Grant's 5K now. We will buy you a shirt.
No. Here, how about this? We'll do this. You sign up now. Grant, you tell me who signs up. I will send them just a shirt that I have.
We'll make you a shirt.
No, I'm not going to make him a shirt. I'm just going to. I have so many shirts.
I got shirts.
You can print on a shirt.
Oh, believe me, I got shirts.
There's one thing I have. It's shirts.
All right,
and crippling anxiety.
Let's review our predict picks.
All right, so we had 2 games this week. It's not so much to talk about here, really.
I feel like
during the Nashville game, it was a couple of people getting the right number of goals or results. So we had Haas getting 1 point and Ben getting 1 point.
Yeah, dog.
I do not know if we had anybody with the right predicts on the internet.
No way to know.
I didn't see any.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody had us losing 5-1.
2 we got some. Sorry, we're not going to.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up, man. You guys are great.
We will count it up. If we missed you, we're sorry.
Keep talking, I'll find it.
Yeah. But what that means is 2-1 bot is obviously first.
2-1 bot.
Yeah, with 22 points.
Crew 1 bot.
We have no game this week, though, right? We're not doing any predict picks?
No, we don't do any predictions that next week.
All right, 2-1
bot. And Haas is still in the lead with 15 points, followed by me, and then Mars is on the bottom. Ben has 8 points, and Trey has 12 points. That was a nice way to reading that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me try that again.
I'm just glad you said my name.
Okay. Let me try that again. That means the standings are 2-1 bot has 22 points. Haas is in first place of living human beings with 15 points, followed by me with 12 points. Ben has 8 points. Mars is in the basement with 7 points. And Trey also have 12 points.
Did you say I got one for... Because I had the...
Yes.
For Miami?
You got
Miami.
One point,
Yeah.
so you're not in the basement. Mars is solely in the basement.
Anything else you want to say about me?
We did.
It's fine.
Nah. What do we want to say about him?
Ben, we each got points for the Nashville match.
And I got one for Miami.
You didn't get anything for Miami.
We had 1 goal. I had the same amount of goals.
No, you had 0-2.
What?
0-2 is your prediction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said 3-1.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh, crap.
I also predicted a loss.
Wait.
Okay.
I said 1-1.
Right, so do we have a plan for next week, Ben? Are we working on something?
Things don't match up right now.
Yeah, that's true. If Mars said, Mars, I had you at 2-2, so that can't be right.
I had 1-1. I get a point.
Mars, you had a loss against Nashville.
Here.
But you had
I said a loss against Nashville, and then I said 2-2 against Miami. Yeah.
That's correct. And they were both wrong.
I'm confused.
I remember.
I
remember what I said. I remember what happened.
Man.
So, do we have a plan for next week?
Yeah, loose plan. I'm gonna hit up some people.
We'll be here though, right? We're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, we never take a week off, even though I took last week off.
Never
take the next week off.
Hey, shout out Wimbledon getting promoted to League One. Check out that Ryan Bailey episode.
Oh, Ryan is in heaven right now.
Yeah. They're great.
What happened?
They're going to the World Cup. Going to the World Cup.
No, they got promoted to like the 3rd division of
Yes.
English football.
Don't downplay it. Although I will say, watching
I'm
that
not.
game, I was like, most MLS teams can actually smash both these teams. Made me feel a little bit better.
Up the Dons.
Up the Dons. Actual Dons. Jerks.
And when does the trade window open for the non-MLS or the non-Club World Cup teams?
Sometime in
end of
July.
July
It's like
24th or something.
Oh wow, end of July, man. We still got some games. Yikes!
All right,
so we have two.
Okay.
We have
Can't
2
come
weeks
soon enough.
off. We're gonna play, and then I think we have 2 weeks off again, and then we play like Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, from what I understand.
All right.
But
well, I hope
figure it
I
out.
hope that Issa the cook has some good recipes for this upcoming trade window.
Burger King
We've
in
got a
that
few
joint.
games that we're going to play. We got some off weeks. We will continue to meet. We do have some plans for next week, but before we announce, we will firm that up, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, go Crew, as always.
STM boys,
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
Where he comes out in a
You saw
airplane costume, and he talks about it is so fun.
Airplane costume, like pilot costume is what you're looking for.
We're recording. Dang it!
I was thinking in my head he was wearing like a plane.
Oh man.